Now, this to me is what car design is all about. To take some old, classic, iconic designs of a brand, in this case, Renault, the Renault 5 Turbo, and turn it into a modern car and make it look like a car. It looks like a sketch, this thing. So we're gonna have a look at this, what this is all about. But first of all, let's have a look at this video from Renault themselves. Let's see what they have.
Oh,
It's only a minute
Voilà.
46.
Oui,
Je peux rentrer?
oui.
Oui.
Bien, bien.
This is the management of
Regarde la
Renault.
bête. Donc voilà, la Turbo 3. En Italie, on appelait ça turbone. Le grand turbo, là. Mais en fait, elle est électrique. Donc ça c'est plus de 500 chevaux
500
sur les roues
horsepower
arrière.
to the rear wheels.
Ça, c'est un
Rear
projet.
wheels, not the front in this case.
Oui, c'est un vrai projet. On travaille pour qu'elle sorte. Je vais pas vous dire quand, mais elle va sortir.
Personne ne sait ça.
Personne ne sait ça. Donc c'est une exclusive pour vous. Là, on n'est pas seulement en train de, comme avec la Renault 5, de un peu nourrir l'histoire de Renault, mais aussi le mythe. Et là, on fait vraiment une pièce maîtresse. Ça, c'est monocoque en carbone. C'est quoi? C'est moins de 3 secondes
It's a
de 0 à 100. Ça va
proper
être,
little,
ça
I
va être marrant.
mean,
C'est un truc
supercar
only
is
for the
carbon
brave,
fiber.
pour les courageuses.
Moi, je trouve génial d'avoir des entrées d'air
63
qui sont aussi la charge.
Prise de recharge, voilà.
Ouais. Ça montre à la fois sportivité, électricité.
Voilà, la prise de recharge se cache dans une des écopes d'air à l'arrière, effectivement.
Tu posais la question si c'est fini. Mais évidemment, c'est pas fini. Au contraire. Tu vois, ça, c'est un peu la sublimation de l'idée qu'on a de l'automobile et de la révolution. On fait rêver les gens. C'est comme on voit les choses. C'est notre
It looks
philosophie.
absolutely
Ça
fantastic.
représente
to
le
me.
futur.
Ouais, c'est une partie du futur. Mais ça te montre bien qu'on veut créer de la surprise, de l'émotion. Je pense que ça reste la clé pour le succès dans l'automobile.
Not bad at all, Renault. I think it's a fantastic interpretation of the original Renault 5. I think I made a video on that here on the channel, just the small details. But this is the special version of the new Renault 5 Turbo. It's going to be limited to only 1,980 units. I'm going to link this article down below in the description from Motor One. The Renault 5 Turbo 3E is a mini supercar, and that, I mean, 0-60 in 3 seconds with these type of proportions, these massive fenders that we have going on. This is what, you know, when I was wanting to be a car designer, these are the type of projects that I personally wanted to work on. Just to have a lot of creativity, bring in some of this old, feel of the brand. What are our key brands today? How can we turn them into modern interpretations? And then just let your creativity go crazy and come out with something like this. This to me would be a dream project to work on as a designer. I think it's just a fantastic thing to do. So after showing the concept in late 2024, the production version has now landed. It looks virtually identical to the concept. You have small changes, for example, adding an RS logo after the B pillar. It's still a two-door, though, two-seater affair, whereas the regular Renault 5 has rear doors, of course, and 5 seats. This one being proper, two-seater, and you don't even have a rear seat at all. So another significant difference stems from where the power goes. So instead of going to the front wheels, like they do in the regular Renault 5 EV, this goes to the rear wheels. So this is going to be one heck of a car to drive. 500 horsepower in this small package with these sort of rally-inspired wheels, just great. So it takes after the original mid-engine Renault 5 Turbo 2, and sits on absolutely massive 20-inch wheels. You have the bulging rear fenders, hosts in-wheel motors, each with 268 horsepower. And the total output comes out to 536 horsepower. Torque quoted at 3,540 pound-feet of torque. It's insane, but that is to say here, it's probably likely represents wheel torque rather than motor torque. Not sure what the difference is there, though. The 5 Turbo 3E will do 0-60 in about 3 seconds and max out at a respectable 168 miles per hour or 270 kilometers per hour. Not sure how that, if you go in that speed, what range you're gonna get. If you max it out on the Autobahn, for example, but just the fact that this can go up to 168 miles per hour, I think it's a cool idea, even if it is an EV. So it's all about performance. The hardcore Renault EV is still going to have a decent range. They say about 249 miles of range. Not the best range here, but you know, it's not bad at all. And it weighs in at about 3,197 pounds. It's also fitted with a 52 kilowatt hour battery pack. You got, as we talked about, carbon fiber inside and out. So this is a unique, very special car. They only limited it to, I'm not sure what the price is going to be. Probably going to be extremely expensive. But for this type of vehicle, I think it's okay because it's a limited production. They put in a lot of effort to make this a special EV. Carbon fiber and all this styling, the bulging, you know, fenders that we have in the front and the back. It just looks very cool. You have 800 volt architecture. It has enabled a maximum charging speed of 350 kilowatts, whereas a normal EV only supports 100 kilowatts. So of course, it's going to charge a lot faster, 15 to 80% in about 15 minutes, which is not bad. You have the handbrake lever is telltale sign that this is something far more special. You have all these small details in this design. You have bucket seats as well, 6-point harness, seat belt. Now pricing isn't mentioned, but it's likely to be up in the six figures for this. Again, which I think it's fine. It's fine to have six-figure price for a special car like this. Would I want it to be an internal combustion engine version of this? 100%, or a hybrid version. Put a small little battery pack in there, give you about 40 miles of EV range, but you also have a sort of a turbo 4 in the back. That would be a fantastic car to see with this. So this bonkers EV is going to be sold in Europe, the Middle East, Japan, and Australia. We're not going to get it here because Renault doesn't sell their cars in the United States. This is one special car that I definitely would want to see in real life here in the States, because I think a lot of people would enjoy this car and also get introduced to the brand there is Renault. This would be a great car to do that for the American audience. Jumping into Photoshop here, let's check out this insane design that we have here from Renault. As I said, I mean, imagine this. You're sitting at your desk and working at Renault as a designer. The boss comes in. He says, we have made a lot of special models in our company history here. We have the Renault 5, for example. Today, we feel like this package is suitable for an EV, a city EV. So what I want you guys to do, talking to the design team, is to come up with a 536 horsepower version, rally-inspired Renault 5, and you can go nuts when it comes to creativity. And the thing about this, when you look at this car, this is what we're looking at right here. This is the production version of the limited production version that we have, and this looks like a proper concept car to me. So I am extremely impressed with Renault for putting this design in production, because it looks so wild, so crazy. You have the headlights up here. I love the shape of the headlights because they're the exact same shape that we have on the original Renault 5. We have this massive bumper in the lower section with this very static robotic lights, which I actually think suits this design. And in addition to that, we have these rally fenders cutting into the body, big side skirt down here, or rocker panel, massive 20-inch wheels. Do like the contrast from the white to the yellow up top. I think it looks great. Gloss black A-pillar here as well. It looks properly planted, this thing. This looks like a rally car to me. Now looking at the side view, if you just squint your eye, there is no mistaking this for anything else than a Renault 5. In this case, what makes this so strange is the wheel size. I mean, these are 20s, but they look almost too big. They actually look, for once, we have a production car that looks like the design sketches that the designers put out to promote the vehicle, with massive wheels which never make it into production. This one actually feels like a sketch when you look at the design of this thing. It's just an absolute beauty of a car, and it looks properly planted as well. Then you have the air intakes right here, and they said that the charging port is located behind one of these air intakes. I'm not sure exactly where that would be, but somewhere there you're going to have your charging port. Now looking at the rear end before I look at the interior, I think this is my favorite view for this vehicle, because these taillights, to me, these are I could not have thought of a better interpretation of the original taillights and modernize them like this than we have right here. It's just a fantastic design overall, but this small feature, the taillight in the back, is just one of my absolute favorite features for this vehicle. And of course, the massive diffuser. You can see how it connects with the bodywork here. It looks a little strange how this area connects with, you know, the bodywork connects with the diffuser down here. Looks very industrial and hardcore when you have this massive poking out pieces like we have, similar to what we have in the front end with the bumper as well. And now looking at the interior, they didn't just modernize the exterior design. If you've been in a Renault 5, if you're in the States, you probably have not. But me and my brother, we used to have one. We commuted back and forth to work. We did like graffiti removal in the middle of the night outside of Stockholm on trains. It was like a night shift job, but what took us back and forth home safely was an old Renault 5. And I remember the interior being full of boxes like we have right here. And we have the same styling in this new design as well. You even have this shelf that used to be hard plastic in the 80s model, still intact here, but of course in a much more beautiful way. And you have this gear lever here looking like an e-brake. Maybe this actually is the e-brake. I'm not entirely sure because it looks like we have a gear selector down here as well. And look at the size of the door here, how big and how wide the door is. Then you have these bucket seats in the middle. I mean, this to me would be a awesome EV to just own. If I want to have an EV, these are the type of vehicles I want to see. Small EVs like this that takes a lot of inspiration from old models from the past. If we talked about iconic models, I think that it would be a revival for the brands that decide and dare to do stuff like this. Just imagine, for example, we have a Ford. They don't make sedans anymore, unfortunately. Imagine having an EV Crown Vic in a new interpretation, or maybe an EV Escort from, back in the 70s. Just redesign those and turn them into EVs. I think that would be a very cool idea. And I honestly think that would turn more people on for EVs. I mean, I think it's going to, stuff like this is going to bring a lot more interest into EVs and not just have them be generic blob-looking things. This actually has a connection to the history of the brand, of specifically in this case, the Renault 5. And I think they've done an amazing job with this car.